General Hospital will reveal Steve Burton laughing as he recalls an awkward behind-the-scenes moment during a scene with Sofia Matson, Sasha. Despite being a seasoned actor with years of experience on the General Hospital set, Burton admits that there are times when certain scenes make it difficult to maintain a serious face. One of the most memorable moments was when Jason felt Sasha's baby, an already sensitive situation made even more awkward by the sudden appearance of Cody, Josh Kelly, who mistakenly interpreted the situation in the funniest way possible. Burton recalls that when he read the script, he knew right away that this would be a tough scene to shoot because it could easily turn into an awkward moment. I remember reading the script, thinking, oh, this could either be really funny or incredibly awkward, depending on how we do it, he said. Jason Morgan is a serious, tough character who rarely shows emotions openly, and now he's having this unintended intimate moment with Sasha, and that made me both excited and a little nervous. From the first rehearsal, Burton and Sofia had to try their hardest not to laugh. According to Burton, Sofia Matson is a very professional actress, but as soon as they took their positions, they both felt as if they were filming a comedic scene rather than a serious moment. I placed my hand on her stomach, trying to get into character, but then Sofia looked at me with a look that seemed to say, "Are you serious?" And that's when we had to stop because we both burst out laughing, Burton recalls. The director had to remind us several times that this was a touching scene, not a funny one. But what really made the whole thing even more entertaining was the appearance of Cody. According to the script, Josh Kelly's character would accidentally witness Jason placing his hand on Sasha's stomach and immediately make the wrong assumption that Jason was involved with the pregnancy. Josh is naturally funny, and he really made the most of this situation, Burton said. He was standing in the shadows, pretending to casually stumble upon the scene, but instead of just looking shocked like anyone would, he widened his eyes and stared at me as if I had caused the biggest scandal in Port Charles. The scene kept getting interrupted by bursts of laughter from the cast and crew. We tried to keep going, but I could just feel like Josh was holding in his laughter from somewhere in the background, Burton said. Every time the camera panned to him, Josh would make a face like, "What's going on here?" I swear I could hear some of the crew members trying to stifle their laughter behind the camera. What made things even funnier was that Sofia Matson couldn't keep her composure either. There was one take where I looked down at her belly and said something like, "I can feel it," and immediately, Sofia had to bite her lip to keep from laughing. But I could see her shoulders shaking slightly. That was a sign of just how hard she was trying not to laugh, Burton revealed. And of course, as soon as the director called "cut," she burst out laughing. After several takes, they finally managed to finish the scene properly. But Burton insists this was one of the most fun behind-the-scenes moments he had ever experienced during his time on General Hospital. That scene was really strange, but also a lot of fun, he said. I never imagined Jason Morgan, a character who's always so serious, would end up in a situation like that. I think that's what makes soap operas so interesting. You never know when you'll have a scene that makes you laugh like a little kid. Burton recalls the moment when the director asked him to film the sensitive scene. Jason places his hand on Sasha's stomach to feel the baby move. It sounded simple enough, but from the very first moment, Burton sensed that this wasn't going to be a smooth take. I thought I could just play it normally, like a heartfelt or serious moment, but the thing was, it wasn't serious at all, he laughed, recalling the moment. As soon as he and Sofia Matson took their positions, the awkwardness started to set in. Burton placed his hand on Sasha's stomach as instructed by the director, but instead of looking down with a serious expression, Sofia looked up at him with a playful glance. Sofia kept looking at me in a mischievous way, like she was teasing me, he remembered. She didn't say anything, but her eyes were saying, "Hey Steve, what are we doing here? Does this feel weird to you?" And that immediately threw me off. Things became even more awkward when the camera shifted to Cody, played by Josh Kelly, who happened to witness the entire situation from a distance. According to the script, Cody was supposed to casually pass by, but due to the way the scene was staged, he had to stop at exactly the moment Jason placed his hand on Sasha's stomach. I was trying to get into the moment, while Josh was standing in the corner, trying not to burst out laughing, Burton recalled. But the funny thing was, instead of just looking over quickly and walking away, Cody kept staring at me with a look of disbelief. This moment turned the scene from what seemed like a serious situation into a hilarious mishap no one saw coming. When the camera cut to Cody's face, Josh Kelly performed so well, or perhaps it was just so funny, that he widened his eyes and dropped his jaw like he'd just uncovered a huge secret. Watching Josh do that shocked expression, I couldn't handle it, Burton said, shaking his head with a laugh. Every time the camera cut to him, I lost focus because his expression was just too funny. When the director asked for another take, Burton tried to get back into character. He took a deep breath, got back into Jason's position, placed his hand on Sasha's stomach, and tried to continue as though nothing had happened. But as soon as the camera cut to Cody again, Josh Kelly went right back to his hilarious over-the-top shocked face, this time even adding a gesture of surprise as if witnessing the biggest scandal in Port Charles. "I think Josh did that on purpose to mess with me," Burton said. "And he succeeded because I started laughing right in the middle of the scene." Things completely fell apart when Sofia couldn't hold it together either. During one of the takes, she even bit her lip so hard her shoulders shook from trying not to laugh. "But I saw it all," Burton said. She was trying to hide it, but eventually, she had to lower her head and burst out laughing. This caused the entire crew to crack up, forcing the director to stop filming for a moment so everyone could regain their composure. After a total of 3 or 4 takes, they finally managed to complete the scene properly. But as soon as the director yelled, "Cut," the entire set erupted in laughter. "That was one of the funniest scenes I've ever done," Burton concluded. "I never imagined that Jason Morgan, a character who's always so serious and stoic, would end up in a situation like this. But moments like this are what make our job more enjoyable than ever." Not only did Burton have a great time, but he also recalled an interesting detail that few people would notice in the scene. According to the script, Cody didn't just accidentally witness Jason placing his hand on Sasha's stomach, he was supposed to pretend to eavesdrop without making his presence too obvious. This was one of the biggest challenges of the scene because Cody's positioning had to allow the audience to see his surprised reaction, but Jason couldn't be aware of him. "I purposely turned my head the other way so I wouldn't notice Cody," Burton remembered. But the thing was, every time the camera cut to Cody, Josh would make such a funny expression that I could tell he was messing around. Burton said that during some of the takes, even though he tried his hardest to stay focused, the feeling of Cody standing there, eyes wide as if he had just discovered a huge shock, made it impossible for him to keep his composure as Jason Morgan. The director had asked Josh Kelly to act naturally, but it was that naturalness that made everything even funnier. "There was one time I almost felt like Josh was trying to shift his position a little, as if he was leaning forward to get a better look," Burton laughed. "I couldn't see him directly because I was supposed to act like I didn't know Cody was there, but just seeing his silhouette out of the corner of my eye, I knew he was trying to mess with me." What made things even funnier was that during one of the takes, Josh Kelly even winked at Burton right before the camera cut to his angle. "I swear, there were times when Josh winked at me to mess with me," Burton laughed. "He knew I couldn't react, because if I did, the scene would be ruined. But that was the thing, knowing he was messing around made me want to laugh even more." It wasn't just Burton, everyone on set couldn't hold it in. "Honestly, I think the whole crew was trying to stay calm," he recalled. "People were standing behind the camera, watching us perform, but I'm sure they were all trying to hold back laughter because Josh's expressions were just so funny." In one take, the director himself even had to laugh and ask Josh to dial back the comedy to keep the scene serious. "We had such a great time," Burton said. "There are scenes that require tension and emotion, but then there are moments like this, where everything becomes so light-hearted and fun that we have to do multiple takes because no one can stay serious." Burton emphasized that moments like these are what make the acting profession special. "I think that's the best part about being an actor, it's not just about telling a story, it's about really living in those moments." Even when they make you laugh until you cry, he smiled. Not every day is about serious scripts and performances. Sometimes, it's these unexpected moments, these laughs off camera, that bring us closer together and make the entire filming process more memorable. He also shared that after moments like these, the bond between actors grows stronger. We've worked together for many years, and it's moments like these that make us feel like a family, he said. The laughter, the scenes where we mess up because we're having too much fun, all of that makes this job not just a job, but a valuable experience we share together. Finally, Burton concluded that even though the scene may appear serious on screen, he hopes viewers can feel the positive energy from it. It's an important moment in the story, but for us, it's one of the most memorable moments behind the scenes, he said. And I truly believe that it's moments like these that keep us committed to the show and put our hearts into every scene.